What's going on YouTube? Ralphdatrader here back with another video. Today's video is going to be a weekly recap of NAS100 from this past week. So, we only do the New York session. So we're going to be breaking down NAS100 with a weekly recap and showing you some opportunities that you could have taken with this instrument. All right, so let's get right into it. So like always, we only do the New York session. So as you can see, we have our high of the current day has been marked up, and we have our current low. Okay, now our low of the day is here. Okay, this is where our low of the day is. This is our current high, current low before the session opens. All right, so we had no major red news on the calendar with the USD. So as you can see from the Asian session, when the market opened up, price was in an uptrending move. Price was making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we was inside of this 100 pip box. All right, but when our New York session opens up, all right, you can see we broke into a new 100 pip box, and we also triggered our previous day's high. All right, so we triggered our previous day's high. So when the New York session opens at 8 a.m. EST, we triggered our current high of the day. And remember, we have no major red news on the calendar. So as you can see, price gives us a nice 1, 2, 3, all right, inverted pin hammer at 9:30, right? As this 9:30 candle extends even higher, okay, and as price starts to drop, before you get to the numbers, you could have taken an entry on this 9:30 candle and got your 50 pips, all right? Because we had a high day sell opportunity, and depending on the time frame that you're on, you probably could have had a better trade opportunity. But based off the 30-minute time frame, you're just reading price action, seeing that you had a nice 1, 2, 3. Price went into a new 100 pip box. They extended price 50 pips out of that 100 pip box. All right, gave us a pin inverted pin hammer. All right, inverted pin hammer at 9:30 when the New York Stock Exchange opened up. They gave us a nice rejection off of the 50. And as price comes down, you could have taken a trade entry for a 50 pip move because we had no major red news on the calendar. Okay, no major red news on the calendar. So now, if you did not see that setup, all right, if you did not see that setup, you could have just waited, all right, because as you can see, price came down. They triggered out low of the day, okay, triggered out low of the day. Now remember, we broke into a new 100 pip box, and it gave us a failed breakout, all right, gave us a failed breakout because they traded back inside. So we took out the previous day's high, then they came back and traded back inside, all right, giving us a failed breakout of our previous day's high, all right, and our current high of the day. Came back into that new 100 pip box. Now they triggered out low of the day, okay, triggered out low of the day. Now we want to wait on the timing window, all right, and as you can see, price is giving strong rejection off of the 50. We're giving strong rejections off of the 50. So this was our 9:30, all right, so 10 a.m. is here, all right, so now we're into that third hour. We're into the third hour. Okay, we close below the double zero. All right, close below the double zero. Now, if you wanted to take a sell opportunity, you would have to be very precise on this because as this pulled back, you would have to take an entry like right up here and just remembering that you're on the inside of your high and your low of the day. So that'd have been a 50-50 ball. But just reading price action, all right, you can see that we're getting strong rejections off of the 50. You got strong rejections over the 50 and not coming into that last hour of the 12 candle window. Price gives you an engulfing. Now, if you're still at your screen and you're waiting, okay, you're waiting for a low buy low setup, all right, they give you the engulfing in that last hour of our 12 candle window. Now, once price pulls back 50%, you could have taken an entry for a long trade. But as you can see, this long trade happened outside of our 12 candle window. But if you were still up, there was still a long trade or opportunity. We got in uh we got a W at the bottom of the low. Strong rejections off of the 50. All right. But I took this short trade opportunity. But there also was a long trade opportunity just based off of price action. All right. So now going into the next day, which is Tuesday, we want to mark off our high and our low. All right, so this would be our high of the day. Okay, now this would be our low of the day coming into our New York session. This would be our low of the day. As you can see that when the London session did trade, all right, London session gave us a breaker structure off of this Monday move. All right, price had none, put in a high, put in a low, come back, put in a lower high. Okay, now they came down, put in a lower low. So we had this break of this structure. All right, then they come back, put in a lower high. So we had another high that was put in place here. Okay, we got another high that was put in place before our um, New York session opens up. All right, so you have that high. All right, now as price traded back down into our low once our New York session opened up. You can see it gave us a nice 1-2 into our low. All right, nice 1-2 into our low. But we want to wait until after the equity hour. Now, depending on the time frame that you're on, you had a long trade opportunity. All right, you did have a long trade opportunity because as you can see, price rejected off of the double zero. But if you're waiting on the 9:30, you want to just wait until after the market opens up. All right, so every trader is different. So as you can see, like I said, we had that breaker structure and they're putting in lower lows and lower highs on the inside. All right, lower lows and lower highs on the inside. Like Stacy says, is the setup for the pump and dump. But just based off of the high and low, you can still catch these same trade opportunities. All right, but you still need to understand market structure. So as New York session opens up, we want to wait until after 9:30. All right, wait until after 9:30. 9:30 extend price back to the upside, all right, triggering our high, all right, triggering our current high of the day, all right, triggering our current high of the day for a short trade opportunity. Like I always say, depending on the time frame you're on, you will have a better entry. But with trading any indices or gold, for me, I don't need to have a sniper entry because you can still manage to catch a 50 to 75 pip move. All right, even on a 30-minute time frame. So as they triggered our high, we get this engulfing. All right, we get this engulfing at the start of our third hour. All right, nice close below double zero. All right, here's your trade entry. And I think I took this trade here. All right, for 75 pip move. All right, for a nice 75 pip move. All right, so that was your trade for that Tuesday. All right, nice 75 pip move on Tuesday, and like I said, depending on the time frame you're in, you probably got in even higher. Okay, and then as you can see, price action also gave you a short trade opportunity. All right, outside of the 12 candle window, but I think we did have like some news or whatever. But you know, you had your trade opportunity here. All right, lower lows and lower highs on the inside. All right, that was the trade setup. So waited to after 9:30, you had a nice short trade opportunity. All right, now going into all right Wednesday, you want to just do the same thing. Here's your high. All right, mark off your high. Come on, screen that now. Mark off your high and mark off your low of the day. Okay, now we did have major red news. Um, we did have major red news at 8:30, and I think they had some major red news. I think maybe at 10 or something. I don't know, but I know we had major red news on this day. So as you can see, when the session opens up, we mark up our high, we mark up our low. All right. So news trades, all right, triggers our previous day's low. Okay, also triggering our low of the day. All right. So, but we want to wait until after 9:30. All right. When we have major red news, we want to wait until after 9:30. So as you can see, price took out our previous day's low. Okay. Took out our previous day's low and our current low. Pricing. Then they extend price up into our high of the day with a nice 1, 2, 3. Okay, with a nice 1, 2, 3, taking out our high of the day. Now, depending on the time frame you're on, depending on the time frame that you're on, Some people call this short trade opportunity because it took out the high of the day. Okay, because it took out the high of the day, they called it short trade opportunity back to the low. Okay, but since I'm using a 30-minute time frame and I know I had my previous day's low was triggered, all right, I was looking for a long trade opportunity. Okay, I was looking for a long trade. So for me personally, I just waited because I think they did have news at 10 a.m. I can't remember if we had news at 10 a.m. or not on the 13th, but I think they had some I think we had like some low impact news. All right, I think we had like some low impact news at 9:30 going into like about 10 or whatever. Excuse me, as you can see, but like I said, you did have a short trade opportunity depending on the time frame that you're using. Now for me, I went long. Okay, I went long. Had my previous day's low, which was triggered. All right, outside of the high of the day. So once this candle here closed with this long pin hammer coming off of the low of the day, also coming off of the double zero, because you can just look at see the price action at this level, all right, of the buy zone of the 100 pip box. So as this long pin hammer, as this 10 o'clock candle had unclosed, and once this next candlestick opened up and it pulled back up underneath double zero, I took positions here and got 50 pips out of that trade. So I went long based off of the low of the day trade opportunity and also seeing this is where money was lying at. Okay. So I took that trade and went long. Right. Now going into our next day. All right. You want to do the same thing. Just rinse and repeat. Mark off your high. Right. And mark off your low of the day. Okay. And once again, we had major red news once again. Okay. Major red news once again at 8:30. Okay. 8:30 all the way to 10 a.m. we had news. Okay, from 8:30 to 10 a.m. we had news. Now, as you can see, our previous day's high was triggered right when our session opens, and also our current high of the day was triggered as well. All right, and for me, I went short on this trade. All right, after the news, I did take a short trade after the news on this trade. Okay, on this setup because I had my previous day's high was triggered. All right, it took out the current high of the day. I'm also getting rejections off the 50 level. So if you just look at the wicks of these candles, I'm getting major rejections. So once this 9:30 candle had done open, all right, and it gave another rejection off 50. Once it broke, all right, I took an entry here. All right, took an entry here, got the 50 pips. All right, and got out. All right, took a trade at the 9:30 based off of, my previous day's high was triggered. My current high of the day was triggered. Okay, we had the major red news at 8:30 and seeing how prices behaving at that 50 level once 9:30 opened and rejected and starts to pull away from off of the high. I took a entry, all right, for 50 pip move. Now, I'm upset with myself because I did not take this long trade. Okay. I'm upset with myself because I did not take this long trade opportunity. Now, depending on the broker that you're using, this candle may be closed as a bearish candle. All right. So depending on the broker that you're using, these candles are different. But as you guys can see, we just waited until after 9:30. All right. The best trade was the long opportunity because as you can see, they hit the stops at the high. They came down, hit the stops at the low, gave us a nice tweezer, gave us a nice, not tweezer, but a nice pin hammer. All right. Nice pin hammer off of 50 coming 50 pips outside of the 100 pip box. And I know it was some low impact news at 10. All right. It was some low impact news at 10. And this was a beautiful trade opportunity that I missed out on. Okay. For a long trade opportunity. Even though I wound up catching this short trade, but this was a better trade opportunity. So y'all could have caught both of these trades. Okay. But it's all good. All right. But this was a better trade opportunity, the long trade. All right. Now going into Friday. All right, you want to do your same thing. You want to just mark off your highs and mark off your lows. So we had a high that was put in place here. Okay, that was our high. That was our high. And this was our low before the session opens. And I know we had news out at 8:30. But as you guys can see, um, with two previous sessions of data coming into this, you can see that we had a previous day's high that was triggered. London session gave a nice little drop, giving us a break of structure of this uptrending move that happened on that Thursday. All right, so now we're making lower lows, all right, lower highs on the inside, all right, for the dump and pump. All right, that's what Stacy says. Lower highs and lower lows on the inside for a pump and dump. But like I say, I'm still just using my highs and lows and my understanding of market structure. All right. So seeing that that previous day's high was triggered, all right, then we get this nice break of structure coming into our New York session. As price pulls back, we had news at 8:30. Okay. Had news at 8:30 and seeing that we're at the top part of our 100 foot box. So I am in my selling area. Okay, I am in my sell zone. All right, and in my sell zone. And where's all the money lying? All the money is lying down in here. Okay, so this is just basic, just basic stuff that I'm doing. Nothing too complicated. Nothing dealing with opening range and initial balance. None of that. And so I actually called this trade late. All right, because I was waiting on it, but I was doing something at work, and so I actually called it late. So we had lower lows and lower highs on the inside. We had our major red news at 8:30, which is this counter right here. All right, 9 o'clock. All right, I would have been in this trade, you guys. I actually got in a little late, like down here somewhere. I think when I once I seen it on this 9:30 count. Okay, but 9 o'clock would have been a trade entry. All right, for this trade for me. All right, because the market had already started to break down. It has already started to break down. Right. And so this would have been a perfect entry. Stops at the high. All right. Stops here because I usually do a 25 pip stop. And this would have been a trade entry, but I still wind up making out good um, on this trade. And I actually had my TP was actually set down here. But as you can see, the TP did get hit outside of the 12 candle window, but I wind up closing this trade out. All right. A little early. I did not stay in this trade to let it hit my target. All right. But this was a beautiful trade opportunity here on Friday, you guys. So it was definitely free cash Fridays. So that was just a weekly breakdown with NAS100 based off of the way that I trade, just off of the highs, off of the lows, waiting on the timing window, being patient, understanding where I am in that 100 pip box, even though previous days highs, previous days lows, weekly highs, weekly lows, current highs, current lows, if they have been triggered. I'm always looking to see where I am inside of that 100 pip box and just watching the behavior of price at these levels, 50s and double zeros, all right, of strong levels of support and resistance, all right, the 50s and the double zeros. So those were some of the trades that I took with NAS100, and this was a weekly breakdown of NAS100. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below or whatever video that you want me to drop next. But I'm going to try to just do these weekly breakdowns with NAS100 because this is the instrument that I mainly trade now. I used to just trade GU, but I mainly just trade NAS100. Sometimes I would take a trade set up on gold, but NAS100 is my day one. All right. NAS100 is my day one. So like always, work hard, stay disciplined, be patient, and just know your time is gonna come. All right. Peace and love. Have a good family.